Saza Pranam, dear friends. I am Aabhas Maldahiyar, and today I am here to discuss a bit about the complex relationship of the Arabian Muslim world of the 1930s and the Nazis during the World War II period. So, of late, we have been hearing a lot of allegations from the Middle East, the Arabia too, where upon RSS, and they have been calling them names to be fascist and the Nazis and whatnot. But the reality is something very different. If someone opens the pages of the history books, it's completely contrast of the picture which they are trying to present, because they themselves have had a past wherein they supported the Nazis just to exterminate the Jews of the Palestine. So there are various sources and the various books which speak aloud about the subject. But one book which essentially has given a lot of detail about what was happening back then is a book called The Nazi Palestine, written by Klaus Michael Malman and Martin Kupers. So I will be citing the points from the very book. So, with the rise of Hitler, one might not be aware much about it, but with the rise of Hitler, he was praised all across Arabia. In 1938, various Arabian newspapers and the magazines even went on to compare him with the Prophet Muhammad. Hitler was even considered to be the last Imam. They considered that if Ali was the first Imam, then Hitler was the last Imam for them. A printer in Tehran produced Hitler's picture with Imam Ali. It depicted that, as I said earlier, Ali was the first Imam while Hitler last. They even went on to compare the Muhammad struggle against the Jews with that of Hitler. In demonstration at Damascus and Aleppo, they sang a song wherein it explained that it tried to convey, in heaven we have Allah and on earth we have Hitler. And then the King Ibn Saud of Saudi Arabia conveyed the greatest respect and admiration for the German Fuhrer. The King of Egypt, Farouk, sent Hitler a message of respect in the spring of 1941. Not only this, pictures of Hitler were displayed in shop windows of Baghdad. That was the period when images of Hitler used to appear not only in the shops, they were also seen in the various houses. He was portrayed as a global hero for them. A French physician reported from Cairo, in the Islamic world, the Fuhrer is credited with supernatural powers. He is the prophet who opposes Jews. Even the main camp included the passage against the Muslim, because Hitler especially had hatred for all the races and all the other civilizations. His whole philosophy was based on the concept of a superior race. So he even goes on to criticize the Muslims, but it was specifically translated in Arabic, removing those passages after agreement with the Hitler. So even such a tough man like Hitler, who was so worried about his words, who was too much fixated on his words, choose to remove the passages during that period. It speaks aloud the kind of relationship what Hitler was having with the Middle Eastern world of then. In Arab world, Hitler's image as campaign against the Jews was publicized strongly. So, not only this, in 1937, a very senior Egyptian police officer proposed to transform the police force into completely the Nazi model. So this speaks of the inspiration and motivation which was uh, running very widely in the Middle Eastern world that time. In the October of 1938, Arabic versions of Mein Kampf were distributed in Islamic Parliament conference at Cairo. Young Egypt movement, Muslim Brotherhood campaign adopted the fastest salutes, uniforms, torchlight processions, despite being anti-West by philosophy. Muslim Brotherhood essentially was very anti-West, but they adopted all the characters from the Nazi camp. It indeed speaks of the dual character of the Muslim Brotherhood. It was in Lebanese Phalange in 1936, adoption of the Fuhrer model happened. It had Nazi-like flag. It had raised hand salute. Later, Ibn Saud declared open support to Nazis in 1939 for friendship with Mufti. He let his land be used for the German weapons shipment to Palestine. So it was indeed to exterminate the Jews. In 1939, Al-Fatwa was created in the model of Hitler Youth pan-Islamic and pro-Nazi stand had become a very prominent by then. In 1935 to 36, a future German lieutenant saw large portraits of Hitler and reported following about the Kurds. They considered Führer as idol. Nazism was new favorite among the Arabs. In Spanish Morocco, the Hitler salutation was given Islamic legitimation by shouting Allah is great and raised right hand. So they were adopting the gestures of the Nazis very strongly. In March, on March 31st, 1933, the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem visited German consul and assured that the Muslims welcome the new German regime and anticipate spread of fascism and anti-democratic state leadership to the other countries. Arab press had become tool of Nazi propaganda by then. Hanaf Hassan addressed her as Hitler the Great and even thanked Nazis on many occasions. Among Arabs, fascism and Hitler was considered the most important political movement and most important man of the 20th century respectively. And so if you just look at these accounts, you will see that there's a very deep connection between the Middle Eastern world of then and the Nazi. So the Middle East was completely supporting Nazis. On the other hand, there have been allegations that RSS has adopted a lot of ideas from the Nazis, and they are new. They are even called the new Nazis. So I don't know how does this allegation even stand when they were practically taking the support of through the weapons. They were taking support of the Nazis to exterminate the Jews practically. Hitler was considered to be very much equivalent to Muhammad. Even it is an absolute insult to the Islam. Despite that, the allegations has been directed to RSS. Now going further, it was only Al-Haldi admitted proudly that he had translated Mein Kampf. On Prophet's birthday in 1936, pictures of Hitler and Mussolini were on display in various parts of Arabia. So what they were trying to do? They were just trying to equate Muhammad with Hitler and Mussolini, or rather otherwise. Arab always used to get over enthusiastic for the Hail Hitler, and these all are coming from the written records. The the Nazi symbol was best to secure oneself. Like I spoke about how they started the process of raising the hand and saying Allah is great. Arabs always longed for their own food, and they always wished that they all had some kind of leader like Hitler who could lead them for various more campaigns. Hitler also showed a great sympathy for the Muslims of Palestine. While he was on the rampage to kill all the Jews in Palestine because of his special hatred for the Jews, but he had special sympathy for the Muslims of Palestine. So I will conclude here with I have just put across very basic points of the kind of relationship which was existing between the Muslim world of Middle East back then and the Nazi movement. So I look forward to detail more in the further upcoming video. That's all for now, friends. Sadar Pranam.